What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Vampy Book Club. You guys know what this is. You guys know who this is. I can't do this without my main man, Delman. Uh-huh. Give me one second. What's going on?
What up?
So we're going over issue 23, St. Julian cover that's been used multiple times. And and the story is called the blood, or was it Blood Queen, blood was it Blood Queen Bay Parish. That's what it is.
Bayou Parish.
Bayou Parish. So it's gonna take place in New Orleans, so that's kind of cool. But I'm gonna show you guys before we get started, show you guys how many times that cover's been used. So here's here's three examples of how many times it's been used. So first one is the original cover, 23. Then the second time it got used on the run was issue 99. So two versions of the cover. But it seems to be bright. The 99 one seems to be brighter.
Yeah.
And then the other time that's got used foreignly got used was in a German edition. This is a German edition that got used. And how I got that was from Varangian Vigilante, my friend Thurston.
Oh, fancy.
So that's how I got this issue. So it's been used multiple times. Like we said, James Warren likes to reuse covers a lot. If you haven't noticed, Dell's has the whole run, so he knows that could. So
and not only in the not only in the not in a specific series either. It's like I remember seeing the same cover in like different series, like one like say for example, I think it was Eerie 2, which is and I think it was that werewolf cover, and then I remember seeing it. I can't remember. I don't know if it was in Creepy. I think it was the same cover somewhere down the road on Creepy.
Right.
It was like same exact werewolf cover, but I'm like,
I remember like hearing stories that where he had issues with getting into like not bankruptcy, but he was getting into issues like in the middle of like the 70s and in the middle of like the 70s. He started getting into financial trouble. So maybe that's why he started reusing the covers. And plus he bought the cover once already. So so he bought the commission already. So what's gonna hurt for him to use it again? It's gonna be cheaper for him to use it again. So it's like then they commission another cover to come. So this is done by St. Julian, and everybody thought he would be the successor to Frank Frazetta for the Warren magazine covers originally. That's what everybody thought. Even Warren thought the same thing. So, but this is an example of how he was a fan of Frazetta too, where he took from Frazetta's Egyptian Queen, he took ideas from it. So this is the Frazetta's Egyptian Queen. So they took ideas. So he took some ideas from it and used it because they called it the Cobra Queen. There's a story in here called the Cobra Queen or whatever it is, and took some ideas from it. And the other thing, and Dell knows how I like to go digging on to Heritage to see if the covers got sold or not. Guess what? I found it. Yeah, I found it. It sold for 14 and some change.
$14,000. All right.
Yeah, that's some major money. But I think if it comes up now, if it came up now, I think it would sell for a lot more. I think. Honestly,
probably over 20 at this point, and
that
was like 5 years ago, like
2020. Yeah, so 5 years later, I think this thing would sell for a lot higher because look at what some of Frazetta's stuff has sold for recently. Some of them, so it's like, and there's actually one up there right now that's that's up right now that's still on auction. Frazetta's. It's in one of the Vampirella covers from early ones. So yeah, and then we're gonna go over issue 23. The stories by are Steve Englehart again. So two stories, and then we'll find out about next week. Dell's gonna be pretty interested in next week's, I think, but I won't ruin it just yet. Woohoo! Uh-oh. Give him a second, guys. He's having technical difficulties. But we're going. You're back.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over the story or whatever the about the Vampirella stories. So what did you think so far with Englehart's writing on this one?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of boring. Honestly, it's kind of boring.
Okay,
for me.
It was boring, but I think you're gonna like next week's issue a little more because it's gonna go into, and it's by Bill Dubay this time. So it's gonna be by Bill Dubay this time. Next issue, I think the next issue you're gonna find more interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. All I gotta say is you're gonna love next week's issue because it's more action than this week's. Well, lo and behold, Pendragon and everybody goes on a little trip to go see one of Conrad's friends on this issue. Yep, and then we end up meeting the lady that's gonna become the Blood Witch or whatever she is. And something happens to her, but I can't mention this on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's an interesting part of the story where she
she loves the guy so much, but that guy is so abusive to her, and some shenanigans happens.
Unfortunately, there's some self-induced
shenanigans.
Pain.
Some self-induced shenanigans, just in case anything happens or whatever. But somebody makes a reappearance in this story, doesn't he?
Yes, it looks like the priest from last story appears again here on this one again. So he wasn't. So now they're adding. So this part of the group that he's that little group or whatever he's a part of.
The little cult that they're a part of. Yeah, he's a part of.
The cult group that he's a part of. It's like I guess he's like fired since he got burned. It didn't really kill him.
I thought it was kind of funny, but the story is going as soon as they meet the friend. Conrad's introducing everybody. And then Conrad turns around and goes, "Hey, where's Pendragon?"
Where's Pendragon? Oh, he's at a bar down the street.
Yeah, he's at the bar down the street or whatever. So everybody meets this girl that Pendragon picks up at the bar. Everybody meets her, but something doesn't feel right with Vampy or whatever. Something doesn't feel right about the female. So Vampy feels something not right. So she goes to ask Conrad, what was it? Conrad, the friend, and Adam, what color was the girl's hair? And everybody gave a different color. One said brunette, one said dark haired, one said blonde. I think Pendragon had said a redhead, I think, or something like. One of them said redhead. So I thought that was kind of funny because I'm like, because I didn't put it together until after reading it and then rereading it again. Then I got it the second time. I'm like, oh, that's how she fit. Yeah, and then it was interesting.
That's just how she worked things out. It's like she makes people think she's like the people's wild dream or something.
Or wild fantasies or whatever it was. I just thought this was funny where Vampy turns into the bat and goes to the tavern or the local tavern or local whatever it was to find to find Pendragon, and she gets into a little bit of trouble because you know how she likes to dress, and you're walking into a drunk bar with a lot of dudes. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly,
What do
exactly.
you think's gonna happen? So I'm thinking I knew she could take care of herself already because if you read the newer stuff, you know she could take care of herself. But if you haven't read it
Exactly.
before, if you
Yeah.
haven't read it
So if you
before, yeah,
yeah, if you haven't read the issues in the past, then you know that she's gonna that
yeah,
yeah, she ends up taking care. She's able to take care of herself, so which is
yeah,
good. Good for her.
good for
She's
her.
able to take
Yeah,
care of
that I
herself.
thought. Yeah, and a lot of good females previously that don't know anything about her always says, it's just a sexy girl in a bikini or whatever. But I can see why a lot of females like her. You know what I mean? She can take care
Mm,
of herself.
exactly.
Yeah, I just thought this was funny, and I'm like, yeah, this dude's gonna regret it. But I thought she was gonna end up not doing that. I thought she was gonna end up biting the shit out of him. That's what I assumed was gonna happen. Was
No,
gonna
but
have she didn't bite the shit out of him. She whooped the shit out of him instead.
exactly, exactly. She beat him up. She roughed up the guy
Yeah,
on that, and while the friend was like, where did he go? And he's like, and then the friend just said, all right, this is where they went, type of thing.
right.
So
Yeah, and that's where they went to the pier to some pier or whatever. They then then she says that tells Pendragon to stop or whatever, and some shenanigans happen again.
yeah,
Yep, some shenanigans happens again, and this time they both get caught instead of
yeah,
one. They both get caught.
exactly.
They both get caught, and then we find out what the witch actually did to the guy. So we find out about the guy that was with the girl earlier in the story. So we find out that pretty much the witch either cursed him or either hypnotized him to help her, one or the
Yeah,
other, something like that. So I thought it was funny, and that but when you read next week's issue, I'm glad Bill Dubé and this guy actually read each other's stuff, so they actually connected a little bit with Pendragon stuff, so it was kind of neat. So some fun stuff is going to happen next week too. So we get more backstory into somebody. I'm not going to ruin it for you, Dale, but you'll find out. We get some backstory into somebody. So, but and then we find out about our father that didn't actually die. He's actually under this cloak here.
yeah. So it turns out that the fire, I guess each person, I guess each person has like a
A
special
different,
power,
yeah,
it's like it's an element power, and I guess his is fire. So with fire didn't really hurt him. You
right.
know,
Well, if she knew that, she would have bit him. I think.
yeah,
I think if she would have did something else to
yeah.
him, but I thought it was interesting, man. Like, but we don't get no. We actually don't get no. Actually, I don't hear her talk about anything about her serum at all in
No,
this one
yeah. There's no talk about her serum at all, as far as as far as anything like
because
being
the previous issue they didn't mention anything about serum either. So it was like I'm like, dude, don't she need the feeds sometime soon? So
I guess the story didn't really take place over over more for longer than 24-hour period,
right,
because all the other
right,
stories that showed her talking about a serum, it's like it looked like it was like a 24 or like a 48-hour
right. Window,
period
right.
window inside the story, and it was like, okay, sure, she has to feed or something like that. But Yeah, so but it looks like it looks like the priest here is gonna try to sacrifice them. Uh, yeah, so and it's gonna sacrifice him because he's part of
Right.
that cult group. And here comes
And yeah, because
Adam.
then Adam comes the rescue or comes to find her.
Yeah,
But I hey Dale, I actually read the letters page and I had a weird I had one of the letters I thought was kind of weird. They think Adam is like a almost like a damsel in distress type character now. What do you think?
I want to say he's a damn. I want to say he's so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's a male. But how they explained it was he's a male version of of the damsel, pretty much something like that. I'm reading it. I'm like, not really. If you really think about it, because half of the time is him rescuing her out of the
yeah.
out of issues sometimes. So it's like, I don't know. I thought that letter was kind of funny. So I'm like, eh.
Well, no, because I think it was more. Yeah, because he's somehow getting involved, either protecting Vampirella,
Right,
or maybe a Vampirella and his father, or
right.
something like that. So I want to say that he's always like in distress in
Right,
some
right.
way.
Or he's always or the way they were saying, like he's always getting caught. I go,
Oh
he's
no.
human. He's going against cult members, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So
I just thought it was funny, man. Like you said, like I said, I like reading the letters pages now,
yeah,
just to see stuff, and then see if we can bring up topics. Like I'm like, I don't think so, but okay, if you say so. Yeah, and
yeah,
then yeah, and then when like this panel could be, without the bubbles, without the letters, I could see it as like a t-shirt or something, you know?
yeah. Nice little cool little poster. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
where we kind of discover that the priest here is end up. I got since on the last issue he
Well,
was like,
the fire did mess him up a little bit.
yeah, it messed him up, and then but then like the being because he's part of that cult
Right,
group or whatever, they kind of like he lost his legs, but he was like mutated into like a weird like half human, half spider type because he
right.
has like extra legs type of
Yeah.
thing.
It's like they were talking about it and stuff, and I'm like, huh. Uh, yeah, but it's funny that it's like they both get caught, and then the witch's boyfriend or the girl's boyfriend originally, so yeah, starts attacking Adam.
Yeah, so yeah,
But
exactly. So,
but then we find out about Vampiro's new power. Though, oh well, we haven't heard about this power yet, but we find out about one of her new powers in this one of her powers that we didn't know about.
yeah,
That she could put people under trance. Was it trances? I think like a trance, almost like
yeah,
hypnotizing.
yeah, in a way, or break it. I can't remember, but it was yeah. She could do her own little form of magic as well,
Right, right, right.
which is kind of interesting. That they never really showed that in other stories in any way. But
Well, well, yeah, but they're increasing her power level every issue. It seems like they're
yeah,
going, hey, we'll give her a new power since it's a new writer. We'll give her something new.
yeah, exactly. But
What we
no, so
should do, what we do for now, hey, Dad, what we should do for now on is to count how many times they upgrade her. They give her another another power set. We should see like how many issues it takes to get. Hey, Vampirella got another power.
exactly new power, new something.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, for issues after this on, we should see if they give her another power set.
Yeah,
I just thought it was funny that she could hypnotize him or undo the spell or whatever. And you would think that witch's magic would be a lot stronger than a girl from Draculon.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But
But it was interesting for sure.
mm,
Because then the witch gets to him and goes, "Hey,
yeah,
so Vampy undoes whatever he did or she did, and you see that. I like how I like how Gonzalez did the progression of the girl looking, the way she looks, and then progresses, and then you originally see what the witch actually looks like. So I like that. I like these panels here. How it goes from it progressing from, from the witch, from the normal girl, then that, and then all the way back down to what zombie, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much zombie she like melts away or something.
Yeah,
But
I like, honestly, I like the progression. I like how he did the progression. I like how Gonzalez did that progression though
yeah,
of the panels though. Yeah, and then
he did a good job.
yeah, and then I thought this was kind of funny that the actual guy actually sacrificed himself on top of Vampirella. Like jumped on top of, and then the priest did his little fireballs again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah, and then
saying that. Yeah, the arc is actually pretty good as well, and so far it's pretty cool.
and it faded away this time, like it faded away, but the witch goes, "You pretty much, you bitch," and starts fighting Vampirella.
Yeah. No, yeah, it looks like the witch was like almost like fighting a priest as well.
Right, fighting the priest.
Yeah,
Yeah, going.
yeah,
Yeah, going. You ruined everything.
yeah. It's like because it looks like because like her like since his like special powers from the element of fire, and her is the element of water. So
Right.
she kind of counteracted his
Right. I thought it
with
was
her.
funny.
Yeah,
I just thought it was fun. I'm like, why would you mess around with a witch that has water powers in the first place?
yeah,
And you're a fire creature or a demon or whatever you are. Why would you go messing around with a freaking witch that can pretty much counteract whatever you're gonna do? So it's like, huh.
yeah, exactly. So, but it was kind of interesting that they did that. So,
Right.
but they
Yeah, and
did
then
that.
the little battle that happens because she got pissed that her man sacrificed himself or whatever it was. The 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 slave that she had.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like then they fought it. Looks like the witch did end up fighting Vampirella as well. Right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, and then
So
guess what happens? Because the priest is a fire creature, the place ends up going up in flames. So she ends up pretty much rescuing everybody, like like always, and go, hey, we got to get out of here. Let's
yeah,
wake up Pendragon. Is Pendragon still locked up over there? Yeah, yeah. And then we get the Cobra Queen after that. That was the end, pretty much. But I'm super excited for you to
yeah,
read next week's issue because we get some more backstory on one of the characters, but I'm not going to ruin it to tell you who it is. Del's gonna have to find out himself, and you guys are gonna have to find out your guys' selves to see who we're talking about. Del's gonna find out during the week when he reads it. But I'm a little bit ahead. I read this week next week's issue already, so I'm gonna end up reading after I get off. I'll probably read 25. I'm excited. I'm actually happy Dubé is actually doing it. I'm actually liking Dubé. Dubé had more. His has a little more the depth and a little more story and a little more interesting. So it gives somebody it tells you why he does what he does. All I'm telling you, Del, it's a he. But I'm not gonna tell you which one which three of the he's it is.
gotcha.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see next week's issue. I'm excited to read. I'm excited to see what you think of next week's. To see what you think of Dubé's writing because Dubé's gonna do two stories. So Dubé's gonna do something in 24 and 25, and then we get somebody else, and then I think a couple issues down, I think we get Len Wein. So the guy that created Wolverine and and Swamp Thing. So so we're gonna get some strong writers towards towards the middle of this run. But I'm actually enjoying it. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the story at all?
It
Or
was
was it a
okay.
little well, was it a little slow for you?
I don't know. It's like I just it wasn't necessary. So I don't know. I just found it kind of I don't know. Just a
The blah bland.
yeah, kind of bland,
Yeah.
and a little boring to
But
me.
because you saw it coming in again.
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's a little bland for me. So, but
I think
uh,
honestly, since I'm glad I read ahead, so I think you're gonna actually like next week's issue a little more.
mm,
I think you're gonna like it a little more because it's not even the action; it's more of finding out more backstory, finding out more of backstory behind somebody. Well, one of them is I think it's gonna make it a little more fun for you, or a little more keep your attention a little more. I could see why this was a little, eh. I wasn't a fan of this one as much, but I was fan of the last week's. Last week was okay. This week, eh.
yeah,
I
it's like
mean,
yeah,
Engelhart can write. It's just for something was missing in this one.
yeah. It's just didn't really capture my attention as much as I wanted it to be. So
Actually, talking to Tim today, this actually gave me an idea. Every time we read one, uh, what would you make it better? How would you make this story better, Del? Try to make it like actually a little more interesting or a little better. What would you do to make it more, you know, interesting, or like to keep your attention more?
because this one's like a connection to the previous story to the
Right.
previous
A little
issue.
bit to the father,
Yeah, because of the connection of the priest on
right,
it. So it ended up bringing up this disciple group or whatever that he's
right.
a
The
part
cult,
of.
the cult again.
Yeah, some new cult group that he's a part of. There's like no origin story or a
Right,
quick little saying okay what group is he talking about now. It's like
right, right, right,
now it's a different group, and and now he that's fine to kind of like discover he has special powers that's related to the elements like wind, water, fire,
that's
and
cool. Yeah, that's cool. But
that's
like you
fine.
said, yeah,
But there's no quick little backstory. Like just do like a page of like a quick little backstory, kind of like
right,
kind of referring to okay, kind of going to back to the when it was a Dracula Vampirella story.
right,
They did a quick little origin story that Dracula was part of. He's also from the same planet of
right,
Draculon. Okay, and that he just somehow went bad.
right, right,
All right,
right,
just give me something, and that was like a couple pages. Just
right,
do
right.
one quick little page. It's like, all right, he's
or
somehow
or
how
at
he
least
became.
or at least like these, like a little word thing like this up here, up on one of the
Yeah,
pages explaining
yeah,
where he where he what the code is, or where he's from, and
yeah.
why, all the
That's
other stuff.
just me. That's just me. It's just like because especially these stories are like these stories now are a little bit longer than when in
Yeah,
than some of the early Vampirella issues that they're
right,
like
right,
20 pages long.
right,
It should be enough in there to sit there and do a page or two of
right,
a quick backstory. So
right,
that's the only thing I would kind of change. And then but it's a kind of this is probably kind of one of my only other one of my little complaints that have been about throughout the story. It's like every few issues there's a new writer, so
right.
there's
So at
inconsistencies to
least,
the story.
yeah, the biggest thing, at least we're getting 2 issues from the writers each. So I noticed like Dubé's gonna be doing 2 stories, and then I have to look on. I forget to look on how many times Dubé does write, but I know Dubé does 2 stories. This guy does. Steve Englehart did 2 story, 2 storyline. So the storyline, 2 stories for 2 storylines. But would this, you would have to pick up previous issue 20 22 and 23 to if you wanted to read this story, you would have to pick up 22 and 23 just so to understand, right? Dale, would you say that? If I wanted if we were introducing somebody to read it?
Well, at least the last issue, to kind of connect to why the priest with this
Right, right,
story.
right.
It's
Right.
like just to kind of because that's when the priest is introduced as all
Yeah, yeah.
the
That's
last
what I was
issue.
saying. So if we did tell you guys to read it, you would have to read issue 20 22 and 23 together. And then
Mm.
probably like whenever you read next week's, you're gonna go like, yeah. I think most of these issues are gonna be 2 issues you know what I mean? So 2 issue stories probably from now from I think from now to I forget, but we'll see. Well, since we're going through all 113 issues, me and Dell are gonna actually see how many storylines that would you guys would need to pick up both issues to read, because we're trying to figure out how we would introduce this to somebody that wants to get into her. You know what I mean? That's why me and Dell are
Right.
talking about it. We're trying to figure out, where they could jump in. Like even should they, so they don't have to pick up issue 1 if they didn't have to. You know what I mean? So
Right.
or what our favorite storyline is. That's why I'm doing this. Really, is like to figure out. And since Dale got the collection, was to introduce Dale to more of this information, to cram some more of this information in him, to have some fun and do it. But yeah,
Right.
like like I agree with the same thing. I would at least try to explain, you know, who this cult is that the father belongs to and whatever and stuff like that. But I would make the witch a little stronger, though. Honestly, the witch was a little kind of weak on my end,
Yeah.
I think, because
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You would think the witch would be a lot stronger than the father would be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then that
Show that it had its own, like with its since they're doing the power of the elements, that it would
right,
show it. It had its with whatever respective power that they have, they're equally
right,
as powerful.
right.
Based
But it
upon
would
what
have.
they have.
I think honestly, I think if Englehart had like another 2 stories, I think he would have brought in more of the elements. Because since
Mm.
he brought in water, I think he already brought in fire, so he probably would have brought in earth. You know what I mean? He would have. I think honestly, he would have. If he had another issue, he would have brought another elemental character in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have brought in. I think honestly, if Englehart had not like if he had 2 more issues to write, I think
Mm.
it would have been a little better, because then he could explain, who the father was, the cult and stuff. But honestly, I would make it a lot better. I would try to condense it a little to make it a little stronger for the story wise.
Yeah.
That's the only issue I had, was it was a little lackluster, like you said. This story was a little lackluster. Was last week's better, or was this week's better?
I thought they were kind of equal to each
They
other.
were kind of equal.
Yeah, at least to me. At least to me.
Yeah.
But
To 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 me too. Like, actually, actually talking to you about it though, and actually rereading this stuff, because now I have a more of a like I talked to Tim too. I I seem to have more of a critical eye of the stuff now than
Mm.
previously, because I really I really loved it previously, but now just by reading it and just by talking about it and looking back at it, is like I can see why people don't like it, and I can see why some people like it.
Right.
Yeah, but story wise, what? Okay, what are you gonna give it?
It's it's not very high for me. It's like because
What? Okay,
I was
from 1, 2, 3, or a 5, or 4.
I was like it's I was like a scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it like a 6.
A 6? That
Yeah.
you're being not. You're honestly being nice, because I thought you were gonna at least give it a 5.
Yeah.
I thought
It's just good.
you were at least give it a 5, but that's on me. But But I agree. I think it's the same. It's a 6. It's not horrible, and it's not it's not horrible, and it's not like how else would I say this? It's not horrible, and it's not unbearable to read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I it's not like the movie where where Dell couldn't sit through it. At least you could actually read through it. At least you could get through this one. The movie you couldn't even get through first 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, it's like when I sat down to try to first watch it, it's like it was hard for me to get through it, and then all of a sudden it like I still watch it again in order to be able to watch through it all.
But if you think about it, the movie felt like one of these pretty much. If you think about it, really, it honestly did, because Forrest J. Ackerman was the one that wrote it, and Forrest J. Ackerman was the one that wrote her origins. If you actually read some of this stuff and actually watch the movie, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, it's like I felt like I could have done it better. Wrote the movie a little bit better.
Yeah. But now going back, like me and you going back through this stuff, it's like I think me and you could actually write. What we should do is as soon as we get to 40 issues, and then the next episode after that, we should see if we can actually write something better, like a movie. we should try at least, and see if we could come up with something better after reading all of it. But another thing that I want to start doing is me and you comparing the newer stuff to this stuff. I'll give you one of my issues of 60 whatever, and you can me and you can read it, and then convene on Sundays again and say compare the reading from then and now, to see what's stronger.
Right.
But the one thing is, it's
go ahead. What you're saying?
Yeah, no. The one thing is, they have actually one solid writer right now. You know what I mean? It's not like these where they have the writer write once or twice and then freaking jump to another one.
Yeah, but the one thing that's kind of I feel like it's been kind of consistent. At least been pretty consistent. At least the artwork's been pretty decent.
Yeah, well, because it's good. It's been Gonzalez. Well, we get Gonzalez until like 30, 34 or 35, and then he steps back for a little bit, and then we start getting some other friends of Gonzalez's, and actually I'm kind of curious to see what your take is going to be on some of the other artists that are on here besides Gonzalez, because we got we got some couple of other Spanish artists, and I'm excited to see what you think. I like their style. Don't get me wrong, I like Gonzalez too, but I looked forward a little bit about some of the artists, and I think you're gonna like some of the artists even more. They're a little darker. So, but yeah, we're giving it a 6. So we both agree it's a 6. So we'll give it a 6. But honestly, it's a little story wise, it's a little dull. Being honest, you know what I mean. It's super dull. That's the biggest issue with this. Is it's not. See, my funniest thing is they do this, and I thought this was the cover, second page to the cover. So you would think they would have the title, the who's the writer and the artist. We don't get that until 3 pages in, something like that. 9 pages in.
Yeah, and it's just interesting how they, like, even with the start of the story. At the start of the story is that like shows Vampirella skiing,
right?
So and all of a sudden they have to go to the bayou,
right?
For this, I'm like, it's just.
I thought that was funny because she's skiing, so I'm like, what the hell?
Skiing, they're on vacation. They're on vacation.
Right.
She said skiing on a mountaintop, half naked practically.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought it was funny. And then then we got to go to the New Orleans and do the bayou or whatever.
Yeah.
But It's gonna be exciting to see. I'm excited to see what you think about next week's. Honestly, I'm excited because next week's is issue 24, and all I'm gonna say is something happens to somebody in the issue. Not gonna tell you who it happens to, but when you read it, you're gonna see who it happens to. You're gonna want to. You're gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. That's all I gotta say. But this is next week's issue, and it's by Enrich Torres again. The cover's by Enrich Torres. But this is one of my. I have a lot of favorite covers, but now I understand why the monsters are behind her. So because I read the issue before, it's just I forgot what I go. Does it really match the story? And then rereading the story, now I understand why it matches.
Right.
So it's understandable now, but I'm excited to see what you think about next week though, because it's actually the story is done by Bill Dubé, so we're gonna get Bill Dubé for 2 issues, and then we're gonna see, and then the letters on this one, the letter pages on this one, was saying a lot of people liked what was it? Archie? Oh no, was it Archie Goodwin? Yeah, the one of the other writers previously. And I'm like, of course you're gonna like the other writers because at least Archie or whatever, because he did more than 2 issues. He did like 3 or something like that. Of course you're gonna like somebody that's gonna have a longer storyline. Of course, because he gets more time to build the world. But these guys only get 2 issues, and you're gonna have to add to the world. You're not building, you're adding to the lore right now. You're not even you're not even if you tried to build something, you can't really build something. You have to build something in 2 issues. You know what I mean? So you have to start something in 1 issue and then build it into and then climax it into the 2nd issue. So far, that's what I've noticed is these guys get 2 issues, and you have to start the story in 1 and then end it in the 2nd issue. So it's like, dude, what about if the story goes for more than that and he wants to write more? That's the problem. It's like you're only going to get 2 issues. So story wise for the Vampy, it's a solid 6. What do you get the cover? Hold on, let me go back to the cover.
Well, the cover to the book is fine. I think the covers are pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, and this is what I like about so far about Vampirella, at least from what I've seen about Vampirella, that for the most part that the covers tend to be somehow associated with the story.
So how we like to say it in our little terms is the carpet matches the drapes.
So it somehow ties into a story in there,
right?
If it's not Vampirella itself, but it's to a different story in the book itself. So which is cool.
It's like the Cobra Queen. It's pretty much it's like the Egyptian Queen story from Erie. Pretty much, it's similar, but it takes place in the war in Vietnam anyway. So it takes place in so that's where but like I said, it's cool. A lot of people were talking about the poster and stuff. A lot of people were talking about like the art, like how they didn't like the certain artist that wrote certain stories and stuff like that with the letters page. But yeah, so we story wise, certain 6. Cover, we give it a 9. What about a 9? You say, or do you give it a 10? A 9? A 9's fair.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 9's fair. And then we get after this story, we get the Cobra Queen story. So we get the Cobra Queen story by and then it takes a place in the war and stuff. And the Cobra fights a tiger, but we find out it's actual queen or whatever. So it's kind of it's an interesting story. I think and it's by our good friend what the heck is his name again? Damn it, Esteban. It's by Esteban Maroto, but this time Esteban not writing the whole story. You know how he was writing and drawing the stories. So a lot of people were complaining about Esteban writing and drawing. So some of the letters pages were complaining about his writing and drawing at the same time. I can see why, because
Hmm.
his stories were a little not flat, but like he put more effort into drawing it, and then the story wise was a little weak. Like the last two stories were a little weak. I could understand why people were not happy with it. So that was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get a bunch of other stories. You guys get a bunch of other stories. Like I've been telling you guys, if you guys want us to go over these stories, you guys have to let us know in the chat or in the description below when we get done with this. When you guys watch it on a rewind, you guys want to see something different. You guys want to see something. If you guys want us to talk about more than Vampy, like some of the stories in here, I'm more than willing to do it, and Adele's more than willing to read another story out of it. You know what I mean? It's up to you guys what you guys want to see. But so far, me and Dell are enjoying our little read through through Vampirella. But we get some more, yes. But I'm excited to see what you think about next week. We get some more story, some more background on some characters. So that's gonna be fun. So we're gonna get some more background to some characters, and then we're gonna get some more interesting stuff going on. So we got some interesting stuff in the works.
Yeah.
Me and Dell have some fun ideas coming up. I got some fun ideas for the channel, so you guys are gonna see some more content coming from me. Some fun content, some different content, not just Vampirella. That's just Vampirella. Del knows Vampirella is my better bread and butter. I know everything and anything about her. And then the other thing is Frazetta stuff. So that's the other thing. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have some more content
Absolutely.
coming. Yeah, me and Dell are gonna have some more, some more fun ideas coming. I want to see what you guys want to see from us. Being honest, I honestly wanted to hear more from the guy, all the guys that are watching, the guys, the girls, everybody that's watching. What you guys enjoy about our Vampy book clubs, or if you guys want to join into the Vampy book clubs, you guys gotta let me and Dell know. If you guys want to join in, let me know in the description below. Let me know, during the chat or whatever. But Saint Julian was supposed to be a pretty much like I told you in the beginning. Though he was Warren and thought he would be a successor to Frazetta. What do you think? That's the other question I meant to ask you. Do you think he could be would he he would have been a good successor to Frank? You think?
I think so because I think so because I'll say his paintings are kind of similar.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of people were saying. Like a lot of fans were thinking like he's pretty much the successor to the Frank and stuff. And then what I know about St. Julian was like I think he took it as a compliment that everybody thought that, but the biggest thing was like he took inspiration from Egyptian Queen from this one from Frank's original painting. So
Yeah.
he took some inspiration from it. So he was a fan himself. So that's really cool. I think so. But like I said, like me and Del were saying, it's interesting that they give people two issues. That's what I think. It's pretty interesting they give writers two issues, and then to write stuff, and then to make us to make us pay attention or whatever it is. But I thought this, the by the Blood Queen of Bayou
Well,
Parish was actually a 6. Art wise, again, Gonzalez kills it every time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Gonzalez kills this.
yeah, because he always did great work.
Right.
I always felt like, especially when he does his close up shots of the people's faces.
Yeah, that's
I always felt
that's where he shines the most.
yeah, and because I believe I even mentioned it on the last week also that he
Right.
I think he if anything else, he would have done well for himself being a sketch portrait artist.
Right. That would yeah,
You
that would
know,
have been cool to see him to do sketch portrait artist or whatever. But yeah, but he, you know what I mean? Like Gonzalez was known for Vampirella, pretty much. That's where all really Gonzalez was known. Honest over here, that's what he was known for over here, mostly.
right?
But there, you know, like him doing how she transforms into a bat. You know that was kind of cool. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like the incident with the, with the two drunk guys in the bar. How would you handle it? Two drunk guys in a bar, and you're scantily clad anyway. You walk into a freaking bar, dude. What
exactly.
do you think was gonna happen? You know what I mean? You're walking to a freaking bar where drunk people are in a string bikini, pretty much, or whatever. Not even, pretty much a rubber band.
Yeah,
Pretty much a rubber
exactly.
band. What do you think gonna happen? Of course you're gonna get hit on.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, of course you're gonna get hit on, and then you know, then Pendragon's always drunk, so that's nothing new in the story. You know, so
Yeah,
that wasn't nothing new. But
yeah. Of course,
I
he's Pendragon's always looking for a place. He's always looking for a bar and a place to drink something.
right. But my biggest thing was he actually walked in with walked in with a lady. I'm like, oh, okay. When I read this issue, I'm like, huh, that's interesting. You know,
Exactly.
that's super interesting. I'm like, and then yeah, but the funniest thing when I actually read when like I said when but did this surprise you when the father came back though? When he actually came back in
Oh,
the
the
picture?
priest, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like it was kind of. It was. I wasn't expecting that to see it on this
Yeah,
one, but
me either, because as soon as I read it, I saw the priest. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Didn't you die in the last issue?
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But he showed up. He showed up on this one, so
Yeah.
which is cool.
Well, yeah, which was cool. And then you know, but like you said, Gonzalez's close-up shots are always the best part of this. You
Yeah,
know, always the best part of this.
absolutely. Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's pretty much what we have on this one for the story here.
Yeah.
It's great story, but yeah, or at least the artwork is still good.
Yeah, artwork's gonna be good for at least another couple issues. I know he's I know Gonzalez is here until 30, I think 34, issue 34. So we'll have Gonzalez for a little while until he takes a break. You remember how I told you after Gonzalez does something for constant, he gets bored after a while. So he'll jump off, and then we'll have some other artists. So it's going to be nice to have other artists, and we can compare what we liked about Gonzalez and what we liked about the other artists. So that's going to
Yeah,
be coming up in future episodes, and then we got some other stuff lined up, other cool cool stuff lined up for everybody. So if you guys are enjoying Vampy Book Club, thumbs up, like, subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Comment down below what you guys want to see more of Vampirella, the Vampirella Book Club. You guys want to see us, you know, the deep dive into stuff or whatever. So let us know what you guys want to see. But this is going to be next week's issue, 24. And if you guys want to read along with us, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know you guys want to read along, and I can send probably work something out with you and send you guys some type of link like I do Dell all the time. So if you guys want to hop in with us and actually talk the shit with us for Vampire, we're more than happy to have guests. Just let us
yeah.
know on the Instagrams, and then
So, yeah, and I'll be posting a link to my eBay as well because just in case I do have some of the Vampirella stuff up for
yeah,
sale.
if you guys are wanting to pick up some some of these Vampirella magazines, Dell's actually selling the run. So yeah, so hit them
Yeah,
up if you
yeah,
guys are interested.
yeah. I'll be posting a link in the comments on this as well. Uh, so you'll have it there. You guys can click on that and see it there. Because I'll be selling some of my stuff on there too. Just to and And so somewhere down the road, I might be doing a little spin-off from this too, as well. But it'd be not necessarily focused on Vampirella, but
yeah.
So reason why they call me Dollar
yeah.
Adele, so it'd be more like dollar book review type of thing. So
yeah, so we're gonna be doing some more fun ideas, more fun stuff. But since I'll see you guys next week, and see you guys at the next Vampire Club.